For this project, I will be using tin snips, a folding tool, sheet metal, S-lock, and an impact, and an 8mm socket, along with a ruler and a marker, and 1/2-inch 8mm sheet metal screws, and a piece of plywood for the cross break in the sheet metal. So here I am taking the measurements on the sheet metal for the size that I want the plenum to be, which is 16 inches by 13 inches by 20 inches high, with a 1-inch lip on the bottom to attach to the air handler, and a 1-inch lip on the sides of the wider piece in order to attach to the narrower piece. Here I am using straight cut aviation tin snips to cut the sheet metal. Alright, now the sheet metal is cut and they are ready to bend the cross breaks as well as the lips. But before I do that, I'm going to snip the edges on the wider piece of sheet metal to make a 90-degree mark where the edges fold. And once that's done, I'm going to use the small piece of plywood to bend the cross breaks in the sheet metal. And according to where the ductwork is indented, I'm going to bend the lips. And I'll just be doing that with my folding tool, and I'll be folding the sides which connect to the narrower piece of the sheet metal towards the inside of the indentation, and the bottom connecting to the air handler towards the outside. And now we cut the S-locks to size, get it ready, and start to connect the pieces of sheet metal to build the plenum. S-locks are pretty handy for this. They make a good connection. And when I position the S-lock, I made it so that the side lip on the wider piece of sheet metal connects to the outside of the connecting point on the more narrow piece of sheet metal. It just works out better that way. It looks nicer, makes a better connection. And then when the plenum is all together nice and tight, add some screws. And as you might be able to see, each corner of the plenum has 2 screws going through the S-lock as well as the 2 pieces of sheet metal. And now on to the top of the plenum box. And in order to do this, you're going to measure and cut 1 inch above the length and width of the dimensions that I mentioned earlier, so that the lip can be attached to the top using S-lock or sheet metal screws, or both. And the plenum is 16 inches long and 13 inches wide. So I'll be cutting a 17-inch by 14-inch rectangle with the inch added lips in order to make the connection. Time to add some screws.